Hey family, hope everybody's doing good. This is Sunday 7 with AN-T-NEES, and today we are interviewing Miss Rochelle.
Rochelle OMG.
Yes.
That's my YouTube page, Rochelle OMG.
Yes. And Rochelle is here today with a good friend of ours, Sonia. Say hello to the family, Sonia. Say hello to her. Hi.
How's everyone doing? Hope you all having a great day.
Yeah, Sonia has so graciously allowed us to come and use her home for this interview today.
Yes, thank you.
And we're going to talk to Rochelle a little bit about her food truck that she has. Now, she actually came and brought Sonia a meal today. Tell us what that meal is, first of all, and then we'll get into the whole food truck thing.
We'll do that, but first I want to say that, thanks for inviting me, and also I just want to let you know I'm very proud that you started up your YouTube page. You inspire me to get moving and get my content uploaded, so I'm going to be working hard now to catch up with you.
All right, that's what I'm talking about. That's what we want. That's what we want.
Yes.
So, the food truck, again, I know you brought Sonia a beautiful meal today, and we want to know what that meal is, and then we'll get into finding out if, in fact, the meal you prepare for Sonia today is actually part of what you prepare on your food truck.
Oh, that's a good question. And let's start off by saying, yes, I do have a food truck. It's right now stationed in Florida. I'll be going back and forth, and I'll be doing more work there because right now it's tied to my son's restaurant. We're going to be utilizing that, the barbecue part of it and the jerk part of it. So I'll be actually doing jerk chicken, jerk pork, island foods, island meats. So that's mostly even barbecue beef. We don't eat a lot of pork, but we'll be serving pork. So it'll be things like that. And the meal I cooked for Sonia today was oxtails and pigeon peas and rice, or gunga peas.
Ooh, good. That sounds good, don't it?
Some cabbage. And so I did that because right now she's had a surgery, so she's not able to actually cook for herself. So anytime that I'm able to cook for somebody, for whatever the reason is, I take pleasure in that because that's what I do. It's what I love to do. Now, as far as my food truck, it's going to definitely be island food. It's actually, the name of it is 59 Jerk Plus. And the reason why 59 is 59 spices. I use a lot of spices to make the jerk and the different seasonings to the different types of meat that I make. And it totals 59. And it's mostly jerk. So I'll eventually have other foods like oxtail incorporated, but not right away. We're going to start off, I went and got a huge smoker and a huge grill. And
I remember you telling me about that smoker and grill.
I attached it to it, and it makes life a whole lot easier to smoke because jerk chicken and jerk pork and stuff like that, those are really smoked meats.
Yes.
So, and you have to grill those in order for it to be authentic. And I've even sent off to have the pimento wood sent to me from the islands because it's not authentic unless you use that.
Got you.
Yeah. So,
nice. So I do remember, Rochelle, you telling me about the smoker and that grill that you said you were purchasing. Man, I remember when you started putting that food truck together. That was like your baby.
I still have some things to put together inside. We're actually starting to complete the inside, the whole kitchen part of it. I have all of my drainage and plumbing, electrical, all of that is already there. We're putting in the fryer, the grill, the refrigeration, steam tables, all that stuff is being done now. That's the reason why it's in Florida. And I'll probably be working out of Florida anyway because that's part of my retirement. Once I leave my current position, I'll go right into that and that'll be take me into my retirement.
And it's interesting that you say the food truck is attached to that restaurant. I know with talking to other people about a food truck, they always have stated that it's so much better to do it attached to an existing brick and mortar restaurant.
You kind of have to.
Yeah, because the insurance is
well, not so much as that. Is
really?
that in order to have a food truck, you have to have a kitchen. You have to have a prep kitchen.
Got you.
And in part of Georgia I live in, there are no prep kitchens. There is a fantastic prep kitchen here up in the Atlanta area.
Okay.
They have several different locations, and it's called prep, P-R-E-P. It's called prep kitchens, and then you go in and you actually rent space, and you can store.
I did not know
you
that.
actually go in there, rent space, and it's not worth the money because you have maybe a space about the size of a small bathroom.
Okay.
And it'll probably be $800 a month.
Wow.
Yeah, and you have to try to figure out storage in there and refrigeration in there. So it's not really worth it. The bigger your prep kitchen that you're going to be leasing, the more it costs. The one that I was interested in was like $1,500. I'm like, I don't think so. So you cannot be licensed in the state of Florida unless you have, the state of Georgia, unless you have a prep kitchen. Well, in Florida, my son already has a restaurant and a kitchen. It's very commercial, so I don't need a prep kitchen. We already have one as a family. We already have one. And so my license for food prep and handling is out of the state of Florida anyway. So it's better for me to do it there. It's food trucks are a big thing no matter where you go.
Yes, they are.
It's big in Georgia. It's huge in Florida, and we can buy a piece of land to put it on. Whether they're trying to ask somebody, can I? And we go down. I go down there for different events anyway. There's a lot of beer breweries.
There.
That's a lot of them,
Yes.
and they love for food trucks to come because most of them don't have kitchens. So they want us there so that we can serve their patrons. So I did a couple of events down there, very successful events, and they were all at beer brewery, and they always ask for us to come back. So, but right now the restaurant is doing fantabulous, and we're going to start incorporating the barbecuing and the stuff like that. We're going to start incorporating that. So I was just talking to my son about that. He was like, yeah, we're going to have to, so we got the electrical worked out because, of course, the food truck is on the outside, but we don't want to have to do a generator when we're already paying for electricity. So that's all worked out. The plumbing is all worked out. That's the prep kitchen that we need. So we don't have any problem about getting the food truck license there.
Got you.
So
Makes sense because I was going to ask you, where is it located? So you already answered that question for me. And you said it's actually based out of Florida at this moment. Now,
Fort Myers.
Fort Myers, Florida. Okay. Now, do you think that you'll ever have one of them up and running here?
No.
In Georgia,
Probably not.
Just out of Florida, and it's all setting you up for your retirement to Florida. Makes perfect sense to me.
The reason why it won't be one here, because we'll still be faced with the same thing.
I understand.
Can't have a prep kitchen in Florida and be doing work in Georgia.
I completely understand.
Because
I didn't know it was so much entangled with actually having.
Plus, you have to be able to dump your dirt, your gray water somewhere.
Right.
And the prep kitchen up here in Atlanta, they offer that as well. So when you come there, you can drain out your water tank. It's called gray water or dirty water. And they have bays where you can dump that water in. So you got to have that too. You have to have a place where you can clean it. Clean it out, spray it out. And prep kitchens like the one that's up here, they have all of that.
I understand. Okay.
But it's very expensive to be a part of that. If you can afford it, it's great, ideal. If you can't afford, a lot of people don't want to do the brick and mortar because the overhead is so expensive.
Yes, it is. It is.
So it doesn't make sense for me to do, even to, it might even be cheaper for a person like myself. If I was going to stay in Georgia and do the food truck, it would be to lease a little storefront.
probably would be cheaper than
It
trying to do
it will, because you can use it as your prep kitchen. You have to have the 3 basin sink. You have to have the stove, and you have to have the refrigeration. So you have to have certain things in that prep kitchen. So you can actually probably rent a small little storefront somewhere that's just big enough that has a kitchen that has a 3 basin, because that's the kind of the rules here. As long as they have a 3 basin sink, and you have to have a hood.
Right.
You know, and hoods are really expensive.
Yeah.
So I figured if I was gonna rent somebody else's place, then I would just do a restaurant.
Well, you know, you have opened my eyes to a lot, because I see so many food trucks running around here and never knew that, you know, there was so much involved with having that, and then happen to have the whole prep kitchen situation.
That's the biggest thing, because most of it, everything else is just your inspection. You have to get your fire inspection. You know, you have to have the hood. Everything has to be installed already in the prep kitchen. I mean, your food truck. In Georgia, you cannot use your food truck as a prep kitchen, even though you're prepping food there.
Got you.
You know, which is kind of crazy.
I know.
Because you spend thousands and thousands and thousands on this food truck,
Right.
and everything, you have everything there. You can even have
Everything
your
there.
refrigeration there. But
Why
you
do
can't
you think that's so? What's the whole
money,
meaning behind it?
money.
It's just another way to get
It's just
money.
another way for the state, the county, the city to be able to control something and to tax you.
I got you.
You know, and to you gotta, you know, the fees itself. You know, to be licensed and stuff, it's not cheap here in Georgia.
Yeah.
So it just made more sense for me, you know. And I don't want to discourage people that have food trucks because they may have a prep kitchen, and they may be able to either utilize the prep kitchens that's already established here, and so it won't be a problem for them. But you have to consider that a part of your cost, a part of your overhead. So does it make sense to have a small prep kitchen? Or to just rent a space, or even maybe just do brick and mortar.
Right. You have to weigh the odds there to see what makes most sense financially.
Yeah, you have to look at the big picture. Even with brick and mortar, do you want to have an established restaurant where people come in and sit down and eat? Because then now you got to worry about insurance and the overhead. Or do you want some place where you can go in and do takeout only? So, you know, then at that case, would a food truck make sense? The only benefit of food truck is that you don't have that overhead of a brick and mortar, and you could go wherever you want.
Right.
And you can go to take it to different events and stuff like that. So it's like free will to do whatever you want with it. That's why it's interesting.
Now on another note here, even with the food truck. Now, am I to understand too that you guys actually have a pretty decent sized garden going in your home where you live now?
Right here in Macon, we do.
Okay.
And then when I purchase my new home in Florida, we'll buy enough land, we'll have a garden there. But yeah, you know, I think that because of the pandemic, a lot of people got into gardening.
Yes, they
You
have.
know, I never thought I would garden until this pandemic.
People are gardening, people are canning, preserving food, putting away food for whatever might come.
Which we should have been doing all along. If we would have followed our ancestors, we would already been doing that.
Yes.
But, you know, the pandemic was the reason for a lot of people having to sit down and, you know, kind of reevaluate life.
Yes.
And what they should be doing for their family's security. And food is a big part of that.
Absolutely.
Especially when it's scarce. You can't go to the store to buy certain things.
Yes.
And so I was tired of going to the supermarket and spending a whole lot of money on vegetables.
But you don't
And
have
then
to. You grow
when the
that
pandemic
right
hit, you couldn't
house.
find them anyway.
Yes.
So it's like, hey, look, let's buy some seeds.
Yes.
Let's till some land.
That's it.
And let's plant some stuff.
You know, I got up this morning, Rochelle, and I tell you, man, once you get out there, it's like, it's hard to get out from being out there.
Yeah.
I got up and I got outside about 8 o'clock this morning, and of course did my thing. You know, I've got my chickens and all that stuff now.
So you done took it to a whole new level.
Oh, it's a whole new,
You know.
another level. So
Yeah.
I get up doing chores. I have the chickens, the dogs, this and that. So I got out there and I wanted to do a little bit more in my garden today. And I tell you, you get out there and I started fertilizing my fruit trees and everything else. And 8 o'clock then turned into 1 o'clock.
Yep.
So the point I'm making is, you get out there, it's hard to pull yourself away.
Well, it's because it's a lot of work.
It is a lot of
It's
work.
rewarding
Mm-hmm.
because you're gonna, you know, actually benefit from the fruits of your labor.
Yes.
And it's gonna feed you and your family.
Exactly.
So, and even some friends.
Yes.
Because I gave away a lot of stuff.
Yes.
You know, because
Me
it was just
too.
too much for just me and my husband.
Right.
And it was really funny because it's been really, really cold here. So I knew I had cabbage and broccoli out there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, oh, it's gotta be dead. And I went out there last weekend and it's just, the broccoli is so pretty, my big red heads of cabbage.
Yes.
So I have to get out there now and start plucking that stuff
Yeah.
because, you know,
start
getting my garden.
harvesting it and
Yeah.
getting it ready for the
I had bok
spring
choy
stuff.
out there.
Yes.
I had stuff that, you know, I had pulled out, you know, because the season was over.
Uh-huh.
But it just kept growing. The
You
roots
know,
was
and
there.
that's
And I
right.
got string beans that was out there growing.
Really?
Yes. I mean, couldn't believe it.
Oh my gosh. Now I've had kale that has done that on me just over winter and still hanging on.
Yeah.
But beans I've not run into that.
Yeah, and I had parsley.
Well, yeah,
Parsley and thyme
yeah,
still
that-
growing.
those
And
are
I couldn't
perennials,
believe
so
it
they'll
actually, you know, went through the whole cold season
Right.
we had. Because we had some
Yes.
really cold weather down into the teens and to like in the 20s.
Yes.
So I just knew everything that was down there was ruined. I thought my lemon tree was going to be ruined, my orange tree was going to be ruined, but it didn't.
Yeah, that's good. That's
You know,
good.
my lime tree,
Mhm.
fine. So I was thinking it wasn't going to survive because I'm used to the Florida weather.
Right.
You know, and in Florida, if it gets down to a certain temperature, they have to go out there and you know, make, you know, fires where the citrus trees are and stuff to keep them warm.
Right.
And I'm like, I'm not going to do that.
Nope, and you don't have to. And
Yeah.
family, one of the things that Rochelle just brought up is about her lime and her orange trees and stuff.
Lemon.
These lemon tree, those citrus fruits, believe it or not, will survive here in Georgia in the ground. Because I put mine, I started them out in pots and waited until they got at least maybe about a year old. After that, I put them in the ground. They're good to go. And
Yeah.
they just go crazy once you put
Yeah.
them in the ground. So don't believe the myth that you cannot grow citrus
You
here
actually can.
in Georgia.
Yeah.
Particularly the area that we're in, Atlanta and further south.
Mm-hmm.
You can grow citrus all day
Yeah.
here.
And I was
in
surprised
the
my
Georgia
lime
area.
tree, the first year,
Yeah.
my lime tree took off. I had some of
Wow.
the best limes. Oh my God. I was making key lime pies. I was making
I
lime
bet you
eggs.
did.
You know, I'm really, seriously, I was thoroughly shocked.
Wow.
Because first of all, like you just said, I didn't think that I would be able to have a lime tree here.
Yeah.
And lo and behold,
We have been believing that,
that
myth. You
lime
can't grow
tree
that type of
produced
citrus
some
here.
limes the first
Yes.
year.
Yes.
Because I actually purchased a tree. I didn't start it from seed.
Right.
Actually purchased, I went to Lowe's.
Uh-huh.
And I
big
actually,
box stores. Yes.
I purchased a lime tree.
Yes.
And it actually, the first year, it actually produced a lot of limes. I was
Awesome.
really impressed.
Well, I
Very
will
impressive.
tell you that, I do too. I purchase the trees. I don't do the seeds because some fruit trees you can do from seeds, but honestly, it takes them so long to
Yeah.
actually produce fruit from the seed. You'd be better off just, you know, buying a tree that's been grafted onto a rootstock and then go from there. But I bought a Satsuma orange, a Meyer lemon, and like you said, I bought the Parish lime, and man, I had Satsuma oranges in my Georgia
Wow.
backyard, and they were so good. I even have a grapefruit tree back there.
And you know what else you can grow here? You can grow a lot of fig.
Yes, figs are
Figs you can grow
re-
here.
persimmons.
Yes.
Yeah.
Persimmon, is that what it's called? Persimmons?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can grow
Yeah.
figs here.
Yeah.
So that's
So,
impressive as well.
Definitely, if you're in 8A zone, don't believe the hype or the myth that you
You
cannot
can
grow
definitely grow.
citrus here because you can.
Yep.
It will grow. It will grow.
You can just about grow anything,
Mm-hmm.
you know. Some things are definitely will be seasonal,
Yes.
but you really can grow
Mhm.
just about anything.
Yes, absolutely. Well, Rochelle, I'd like to thank you
Well, thank
for
you.
taking the time out to talk with us today about the food truck. Let the family know once again what the name of the food truck is, and we're gonna put your contact information down at the bottom of the video in the
Okay.
description, and if someone would like to reach out to you and talk to you more about that, even those
That'd
that
be
are making connection with us from this video in Florida, they can go check it out. That the food truck is in that area. But tell the family again the name of the food truck.
The name of the food truck, the name of the business is 59 Plus Jerk. We're going to be stationed in Florida. You can reach me online at 59plusjerk@gmail.com if you want to reach out to me. And I definitely will help guide you. I went through all the process of doing it. So for those who's trying to get started, I would definitely be able to shed some light on what you're trying to do and help you so that I've already did the legwork, so I can save you some legwork time.
Yes, fantastic, fantastic. Well, again, thank you so
Thank
much
you for
your
inviting
time
me. I
today.
appreciate it.
Absolutely.
It was
And
wonderful.
she's getting ready to get that RochelleOMG YouTube channel jumped off as well, so be tuned in for that, family.
Yes.
But again, we thank you all for watching. This is AN-T-NEES. This is Sunday 7 with AN-T-NEES. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button,
Yeah.
continue to follow us because
Share.
we got so much more content coming. Like you
Yes, and
said,
share. Share
Like
her
I always
page.
say, share
Yeah.
it with your friends.
Yeah.
Share it with your friends.
We're coming with a whole new vibe. So,
Yes.
you know, things that, you know, we can help people and learn from each other. And so
Yes.
I'm excited about it. I can't wait to start downloading my contact. My page is already there, so you can go ahead and subscribe.
What's she waiting on, y'all?
Editing some of the stuff I already have. But yeah, that's why we're here. We're here to encourage each other.
We're
to
encouraging
get
each
started,
other.
You know, because we're
That's correct.
hopefully we can also partner with other.
We
do
will.
some collabs with other people
Yes.
that we might meet.
That's what's gonna help us grow.
Exactly.
Exactly.
I'm excited.
Yes, me too. But again, this is Sunday 7 with AN-T-NEES. Thank you all again for being with us. And these are the Honky Tonk Chronicles.
Woohoo.
Peace.